Welcome everybody. So today is the January 26th general working group meeting for Ortelius. Let me throw the link in the chat to doc. And we'll get going here in a second. See if we got some people joining in the last second here. Okay. So we'll just run through some of these high level topics really quick, and then we can get into some more details as we go. So just a reminder, some of the goals that we have for basically this first quarter is really focusing on the easy startup, getting people up and going, and being able to measure that adoption. The outreach group is going to be, I'm going to change these around a little bit. The outreach group is focusing on that through the blogathon. And the blogathon will also tie into the training videos and docs. Tracy, do you want to bring us up to speed what you have on the blogathon? Because I think you're
Sure.
about ready to launch, right?
Yep. Let me.
If you need me to stop sharing, let me know.
Yes, if you would stop sharing.
Okay, all yours.
We are ready to launch the blogathon. Share screen. This blog is out and ready to push. It has everything that's needed. It has the 3 types of blogs that we're looking for. Helping new contributors become productive members of the Ortelius open source community. So you can do any kind of blog on, how to get started in the open source community, how to sign up for Discord, anything of that sort. Help new open source users adopt the Ortelius platform. So any blog you want to do on tips or tricks. Educate the community on GitOps and configuration management topics related to the CD pipeline. So that goes more core to our messaging about the importance of managing microservices. And then we're going to, everyone who gets at least 1 blog, we're going to give them an evangelist badge. And the top 2 will get $50 gift certificates, and the top 2 meaning those who have the most traffic. The blogs need to be 500 words with graphics or 300 words with a video, and they should be optimized for a keyword, so you need to select a keyword. If you're doing a blog, especially if you do one around adoption of the product of the Ortelius platform, or if you do a blog around GitOps and configuration management, I highly recommend that you consider submitting it to the CD Foundation. If you use Ortelius as part of the title of it, they will be selecting a certain group of speakers for the Ortelius project. And then I have given some samples of what you might discuss in each of those groups. And then to submit your blog, you just need to be sure you are a member of the Google group, which everybody here should be. You then create your blog in a doc under the blogs folder. And then I've created these 6 pull requests or 6 issues. You can create a pull request around one of those issues, add your link to your doc, and the rest is done. If you do have a video, you can give us a link to your video in the GitHub pull issue when you link it to your pull request. And if you need to, we can host it on our channel, or if you have your own channel, we can point to it. So that is the blogathon. This will go in the Continuous Delivery Foundation's newsletter that goes out February 5th, I believe, and we're ready to go. So what I need, we should have, I need some folks to step up to be judges. Uh, and judges will need to be able to do a basic edit of it to make sure that it qualifies and that it is, you know, polite, not saying anything nasty about somebody else's product or anything like that. So if any of you are interested in doing that, uh, please step up to the plate, send me an email or put something out in Discord channel. And on the topic of CDCon, I'm really going to ask Karam, Sasha, and Christopher if all three of you would consider submitting something for CDCon. I think you guys have been at this the longest and have been pretty active. So it would be, we do need, I'm assuming if we can get 5 or 6 submitted, I'm guessing uh, we'll get at least 4 of those. So if you guys could really think about presenting at CDCon, and that's not till June, end of June.
I know that CityCon is until June, but like, do we know off the top of our head how late the call for papers lasts?
Let me look. Right here is the link. Um, it opened January 11th. Early bird submission is February 19th. Closes March 5th.
Cool. Thank you so much.
No problem. I had just found this yesterday, so that was an easy that was an easy question to answer. And that is it for the blogathon.
Perfect. And did we ever figure out uh, a
No, we have not.
okay,
Siddharth and I are working on that. He did find a company that is less expensive on a monthly basis than most of them, but it's still out of the realm right now of us of getting funded from the CD Foundation to do that. So Siddharth is going to look at this company had what they called partners that we might be able to do a deal where we just pay for the badges used. So he's going to look at that. I'm also going to look at, there's some WordPress plugins to manage your own badges. The reason why you use an external one is so that you have a place to host the badges long term, so that if when you display your badge on your LinkedIn profile, for example, there'll be a link under it that shows who's certifying that badge. And that's one of the reasons why you want that. And that's probably more important for training classes like Linux certifications and things like that. I don't know if it's that critical for us, but we'll get it resolved before the end of March when we need to start issuing badges. That's a promise.
perfect. Okay, so
Also, we can, sorry,
no, go
Tracy,
ahead.
also we can call out. I have dropped you an email for people can start posting, not today, but we have some Twitter messages. Uh, if you check your email, we
Okay.
can ask the community members to, drop messages for these blogathons on Twitter account.
Oh, that's a good question. Steve, can we create an Ortelius account that we can I can add to that says that we've submitted a blog
For against
for
what?
the blogathon? So a special account.
No,
Maybe.
not the special account. I was saying that, remember we had a discussion. I dropped you email also a few minutes back. Uh, the community members can copy paste that same messages on their Twitter accounts so that to make
Oh,
an announcement that uh, there's a blogathon that is there.
I will send an email out that gives some sample. Yes, Siddharth, you were going to work on that for me, right?
Yes, I've already done that. I've already
Okay.
emailed you.
Okay. And so Siddharth has created some social networking kind of, you know, suggested blogs or posts that you can
Twitter.
do about the blogathon, like for Twitter and LinkedIn. I will send everybody an email out about the blogathon, which includes those suggested social networking posts. Thank you for reminding me about that, Siddharth. I totally forgot.
Okay. You also asked me to remind you for getting the Twitter accounts of our community members. We don't have
Thank
that.
you. That's true. Okay, so Steve, you're sharing the screen. Could you go to the Google
Yep.
Sheets, I think it is. So we really need. So sometimes I want to say something about somebody on like Twitter, like Sasha did a great job doing this, and I want to be able to post your Twitter handle, but I don't have everybody's Twitter handles. So we had created this doc,
I'm
and
getting there.
Steve, share it and then put the link in the chat.
Yep.
If we can grab everybody's LinkedIn and Twitter accounts so that we can follow each other as well as post about each other.
Some of us still aren't on Twitter. I'm just saying.
Smart man.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter.
You're on LinkedIn though, so we can use your LinkedIn profiles.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's just for just pushing the social media side.
So we don't have no, verify it's me, password. So go ahead and so we only have 10 of you who are listed, and only 4 of us actually have Twitter accounts, but we got most of everybody's LinkedIn accounts. So if you make sure your name is in here as well as your, you don't have to put your email. We don't need your email in here. We just need your Discord handle, your LinkedIn, and or Twitter, any of those 3. And the GitHub handle would be useful too.
And this will just be used to do mentions and stuff like that, and cross link the social media posts.
It helps in Discord too, because sometimes people are posting and we have no idea who it is that they're posting.
Yes, we do get some strange names. Vested leopard. All right. While you guys are filling that out, jump back to the other one.
Just throwing some African flavor in there, guys, for you. You know.
That's good because Americans are flavorless.
Really?
So
You
true.
guys, really? Just look like so much good food.
I'm just trying to be tough on my country given our recent stupid events. But
Yes, we
there's
are
a lot,
flavor.
Oh,
There are some of
lot of
us who
good food
choose to be
around.
flavorless.
no worry, I forgive you. We have the same stuff here.
So on the architecture side and marketplace, we've been working with the CDF TOC working group around the summer of code. It looks like that we've put together 3 issues and submitted those as project ideas up to the CDF as part of that process. So everything on our side has been completed for that. From what I understand, the Google um, will select a certain number of students, and I have a feeling from what they were saying before is that there'll be more project ideas than students that'll come through the Summer of Code program. The Summer of Code program is a paid program, and I think that's why it's limited to a certain number of students. Now, they did mention that Red Hat did have a similar program as well, and I believe that's what Tecton used to do that type of internship as part of their open source project. So this isn't this. There'll be more coming, but that's kind of a heads up. And we have the mentor set up and ready to go. So uh, that's kind of where we're at with that. I think the whole submission process closes. The CDF has to get everything submitted by the end of the month to Google, and then I don't think it really starts till like end of March is when students start getting assigned the projects.
Yeah, so we've submitted 3 projects and 4 mentors. We'll see how many spots we get. The CDF is trying to kind of negotiate that with Google Summer of Code because apparently Jenkins has gotten the majority of them in the past.
And at the same time, Jenkins is going to be submitting on their own outside of the CDF as well. It sounds like so. Just some weird politics happening for that. Just because Jenkins been around so long.
Yeah, and for us as a new project, we'll have a better chance of getting accepted through the CDF.
So on the architecture side, we did have a meeting with Intuit, Armory, OpsMX, and
Netflix.
Netflix. Thank you. Around component sets, what they're calling application sets. I'm in the process of writing up what we had on that discussion, as well as writing up our plan for component sets and application sets and what they mean to us as part of that process. So that's going to be coming. That'll be one of our key coding efforts that we'll have is going to be around the component and application sets.
It was a very interesting conversation. It was recorded, and in a second, I will. The link to the recording is in the architecture, the general architecture ongoing doc that we use. But I'll find it for you, and I'll put it in the chat if you want to listen to it. If you couldn't make it, it was interesting.
Yeah, basically what it comes down to is the Spinnaker and Argo CD really don't have a concept of grouping anything together. What we thought around Argo CD and their application sets was more to do with templating than relationship management, which is what Ortelius focuses on. So we do have some uh, interesting challenges, especially around Argo CD because they don't have a pipeline. They're basically just a literally sync these Kubernetes deployment manifests with the cluster. And that's how basic it is as part of that process. So it's going to be a little bit of challenge on the Argo CD side to work around their limitations of that product. But on the Spinnaker side, there's a lot of opportunities because they have a full pipeline process that we can work with. And same with like Tecton as well. So that's kind of what's happening on that front. I'll have that document put together and available before our next architecture meeting. On the project management side, we do have the GitHub project set up.
Siddharth, you want to go through that?
And let's
Yep.
take a look here real quick.
Yeah, Steve, let's pass it off to Siddharth so he can show what's
All right.
been done.
All yours. And Christopher, I need to work with you sometime when you got a chance on the permissions thing around that project board.
And Siddharth, you're muted.
I think I was not prepared enough, but okay, I'll take a chance to call out something. Um, so what we've done is we have created this master Ortelius project, which caters to most of the repositories that we're working on. Now the point over here is, I guess, call for Steve and Tracy is, which all repositories do we want to keep in? Uh, what we've done is we just made this Ortelius project with not much of the repositories. Uh, However, what we want to do is we want to keep it more from the technical side point of view, and the Trello board more from the community point of view. As we have discussed also, we want to have the differentiation between what we're doing on Trello and what we're doing on GitHub. So GitHub Trello board is up and running, is already there. Uh, for example, Parijat, and other folks have started working on. If you have anything else for the community, I'll send you an invite. Be part of this Kanban board and start tracking your work, which you're contributing to community. However, if you have something for the GitHub project on the technical side, uh, it's simple enough. Click on this, add your note, and even if you don't want to create an issue, there may be the case that you don't want to create an issue, but you want to track it technical point of view. You can just create a note and click on add, and then it's done. However, if you think no, the node that you want to create, you want to convert that into a GitHub issue, there are definitely options of doing that. I'll halt over here and would like to hear out opinions or thoughts or queries from people around.
The other thing you can do on the GitHub project is from an issue, assign it to a particular card in the on the Kanban board. So you can go that route as well. So if you have an issue that you want to assign, like you're working on as part of that, are we going to just have the three categories to do in progress and done, or do we have a backlog as well?
I think these three should be good enough.
Okay,
We can make it as a backlog also, but I think as a starting point, these three are good enough.
perfect.
If needed, we have other buckets or columns that we can create anytime.
So, can you just give us an example of what you're looking for in like a to do and the in progress? Just give us an example.
Yeah, I'll do that. So let's suppose you want to create a card. Now, by default, what you're not working on goes to in the to-do state. Uh, Things which have started working on, things whose cards have the change status also, they move to in progress and they move it automatically. So you don't have to do that. And the GitHub issues which are in closed state automatically are reflected in your done state. So it is as simple as that.
So really, you only have to create you create a new card that and reference the issue that you're working on. Is that how you would do it to make it in
Yes,
progress?
absolutely. Let me do that. Let's suppose I want to create a card as demo. Now, it is as simple as creating this card itself, but I think no, I don't want to create, I want to convert that into an issue itself. So you have an option of converting to issue also. If you don't want to get the complexities, you can definitely, now if you say no, I want to convert that into issue, you can definitely say which repositories you want to convert that into an issue, put the body and you click it and it would be converted into an issue. So converting the card. Okay, so the issue number 220 has been created automatically. Now, one option is you can probably drag and drop from this to done. And if you click on done, if you click on this, it is now in a closed state automatically. So this is one option for everyone. The other option is what we'll do is we are not done it right now. We will make it an automated one. So as soon as you work something on this, once you close this, this card will automatically move to the done state. What are the open action items? And I'll quickly come through it along jump is we need to select on which repositories we want to manage this board. So this is an open question. I'll talk to Tracy and Steve for it, uh, and probably giving them you the heads up that we need to identify which all repositories we want to maintain because there are too many repositories at the moment.
Right.
So this is,
So what we're doing is all the issues are associated to the Ortelius project. So that is the main landing place for all issues. Now, they did enable the ability to move an issue from one repository to another. Um, that's not necessarily needed for us. We can keep everything at the high level Ortelius project, and uh, we're working on Natch is actually working on the auto close of issues across repositories when you do a merge of a PR. So that will get cleaned up as well. Now, do you know if we close an issue, will it move to the done state automatically?
yes, that settings can be done.
Okay. Because I think
So
one of the things I just noticed on your demo one is it's still, even though it's in the done um, column, that it's still open in on the issue side.
I'll check that.
Okay, just I just saw that by chance. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So if we keep all the issues off of the Ortelius one, I think it'll work.
So a question to you, Steve. Do you want to use this repository only or any other repositories? I've just linked up a couple of repositories out here. Ortelius, Ortelius
The
blog.
main one's going to be just the Ortelius and the Ortelius stocks are the main one, and probably the website will be the three.
Okay.
The other ones like outreach and like there's like the CDF TOC repos and summer of code. Those can be managed by your Trello one.
Yeah. Okay. So here is the Trello one. For example, the blogathon we've already put across. We need judges and the editors to help us out. If you think you can help us out, tag yourself. I'll add people else in the invite, so you can tag yourself on this. Let's suppose I've tagged myself. So again, it's a pretty simple one. Should not be a challenge. But if you think you need a bit of hands-on, maybe 5-10 minutes of sessions one-on-one, uh, just book my calendar. I'll send across my calendar link. You can just book across. I'll devote some time. So this is across my calendar detail. So you may connect with me one-on-one if you need it. Else it is a simple Kanban board, a more simpler than probably the GitHub one.
And Siddharth, if somebody, how does somebody get invited to be on this? What's the easiest way? Is there a common link that I can share with everybody?
Okay, I'll share that with you. Okay, so should I share the link over here, sir?
Yeah, just put it in the chat and I'll grab it from
Okay,
there.
okay. Here is the link. You can be part of this immediately.
Okay, perfect. Anybody have any
Cool.
questions on that? All right. On the Trello side, on either one of these, do we get notified if there's something like added to the to-do list? Is there notifications that happen, or how do we find out that there's new stuff being added?
Okay, you can watch this board itself. There are options of viewing it.
Okay, so there's
So
like a watch button.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. All right. I'm just cut and paste the Trello.
Let me quickly share how you can watch it. This is the way you can watch it. Once you click on more, there is something else called watch.
Perfect.
Just a reminder, this is freeware that we are using. So there are a lot of features of the Trello, but we would be using limited features at the moment. For example, there's a feature of linking your Trello with GitHub, but we'll not have that the luxury at the moment. Hence, we'll use limited versions of it, but I think limited also would make sense as we start by.
Yeah, I think it's a good place for us to start.
Yeah.
And just so I document this, the GitHub project is where we're focusing on more technical um, uh, aspects of the cards, and the Trello one's more big picture.
Yeah, the Trello one will be used for more like outreach activities, things that aren't really issues, but we'll be able to track people, anybody's participation that way, and it'll keep real issues in GitHub. So we'll be tracking most of the blogathon, even though we have issues associated to it. Any activities outside of actually creating the blogs will be managed in Trello.
Got it.
Okay, we are on the top of the hour. I want to introduce Gonda. Gonda is new. Gonda, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself. We're really happy to see you on today.
I'll even turn on video. Shout out to South Africa. I am a Linux system administrator. I've been in the States for way too long, but apparently I still have an accent. Linux administrator by day job, born and bred C coder way back in good old South Africa. And I still like to code, but I will confess one of my problems is I have what is called RSI, repetitive stress injury, from too much typing. So what I have never actually permitted, no, that's not the right word. Taken part in, I don't know what word I was looking for. Taken part in an open source, although I do use it a lot and I love open source. So it was very interesting when Tracy reached out to me. I was like, okay, they're actually asking me to join. I can't say no. I don't actually currently have microservices running under my command, but it is in my building. So I'm lurking on the edges now, listening and hearing lots of words I don't understand, but I'm sure I can figure out. So yeah, I'm not jumping in elbows and knees right initially. I'm just watching and seeing anything that rings a bell. I can maybe go and investigate further.
Well, we're glad to have you. And remember, this is a place for learning as much as contributing. So you can always ask these kinds of questions on this. All of us are actually learning about microservices as we go. Some of us are deeper in than others. So never hesitate to say, hey, for any of the meetings you're on, you can always post those kinds of questions or just ask them straight out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, when you talk about blogs about getting to start, I was like, well, okay, I know nothing. My sister is a statistician in Canada, and one of her pet peeves is acronyms that nobody explains. And so every time I hear an acronym I don't understand or something, I always laugh. I'm like, yeah, I'm right there with you. I have no idea what those letters mean, which is funny because the last person was a PT I had to explain RSI to, and I was like, dang, you would think they know that, but there's just too many letters out there. So
there's so many acronyms. Sometimes we're in acronym hell sometimes.
Yeah, so all right, good to meet everybody. So I'll lurk on as many meetings as I can, and at some point put my foot in something.
Well, we're hoping you put your foot in going through, finding everything and doing a blog on that. That would be great.
Okay.
And there's, if you could, in the main GitHub repository for Ortelius/Ortelius, there's a README file in there. If you could, if you could update that with which working groups you're interested in, and commit that back, and that just gives us a way to get your GitHub handle and get you kind of like primed in the pump for allowing you to have access to the GitHub repos.
I'm also somebody who's obnoxious about a lot of things like Google and GDocs and permissions and access, and I have 7,000 IDs, so I'm probably going to irritate somebody at some point with that. Like, you gave me access where? I don't, what? Gmail? GDocs? I run my own mail server, so if my mail goes weird, right over here. Self-inflicted injury. Not sure why, but I'm doing it now, and so since I have it, I now want ultimate email control.
Maybe all of us should.
So I've
All right,
given that
thanks.
up to Google.
Yeah, someday I'm gonna go, can't anymore. So, alrighty.
And
Well,
is there
welcome.
any? I don't think there's anyone else. Jim, did you introduce yourself in the last since we?
I have not. I missed a
didn't
couple of
think so.
meetings.
Ooh,
Yeah, so.
come. Why should I be the only one?
So Jim, please tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm just a longtime Linux administrator and hacker at various things. I mean, not a quality hacker. I don't actually break systems, but coder and scripting and programming in multiple languages. As the previous speaker said, I've been around way too long, and I've not actually contributed to any open source projects. But when I talked to Tracy about this, it sounded really interesting because, in my estimate, at least in previous experience or recent experience, idle CMDB discovery, etc. There's bits and parts, but there's no complete package. So even the people that run ServiceNow or other elements within the concept, they've all got bits and parts. Nobody's got a cohesive package. I actually talked to a cloud service provider and they said, no, we don't like ITIL anymore. We don't need the CMDB. We don't need to understand all that. And I'm like, well, how do you know what's happening in your world? Yeah, you can go look at one container, but we need to look at 30 containers related to the same piece of software or the same business function without relationship management of some type. How do you do that? Anyway, so I'm just trying to learn
That
what
sounds
this
like
is.
a blog in the making
I was
right
just
there.
going to say that's a really good configuration management blog right there.
Okay, well, just did somebody already give me a post where to go?
It is. I'll be sending it out, but
Okay, cool.
let me post that link right now that gives you the directions. It's on the Ortelius website under the news blog, but
Okay.
I'm going to post it for you right now.
And if I post it, do you guys have the opportunity to review it and edit it before it goes public?
Yes, we're going to do
Yeah,
all of that as part of the blogathon.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, on the blogathon, we're just pushing them to Google Docs right now, and then we'll go through and edit them, clean them up, and then take it from there and put it into the WordPress side of things. We're in this weird transition period between our WordPress website and a Hugo Markdown Doxy server. So for now, because we haven't made that jump yet, we're just using Google Docs as the location. Also, if you have a video, just upload it to the drive, the MP4 up to the drive, and from there we'll grab it and push it up to YouTube.
All right, thanks.
And then Jesse, I don't remember if we got to talk to you in late December or early January. I don't know if we did.
Yeah, no. Hi, everyone. I spoke to Steve and Tracy. Initial conversation, was interested in the project, and decided I'd contribute where I can. So I do have some open source contribution experience, but although it was kind of an employee of Rackspace in the OpenStack project some time ago. And so there's that piece. Longtime Linux admin, system administrator, actually more than just Linux, Windows is kind of thrown in there too with some old school Unix. I'm currently an SRE, and I'm not in an environment today where we use any microservices, but I'm transitioning to a new role Monday where we're using tons of microservices. So there's a huge opportunity for me moving forward in my new role to help, I guess, contribute to Ortelius, but also bring some, some experience with what we're trying to do in my new role to kind of help solve the microservice relationship deployment, all that good stuff that's associated with it. So I'm glad to be here, and thanks for inviting me.
Oh, thanks for coming. So for those three of you who are new, this is you're on the general community. Next week, we do the outreach meeting on Monday at 8 a.m. Mountain Time, or 7 a.m. Pacific Time. And then we do the architecture meeting at 8 a.m. on Thursday. So this is our kind of our off week. So we do the community meeting on Tuesday of one week, and then the following week we have Monday and Thursday that we do meetings. So Monday being the outreach, Thursday being the architecture. The architecture right now, the outreach meeting will be focused on pushing the blogathon. The architecture meeting will be focused on looking at two areas, making sure that the product, in terms of the ramp to get for adoption on the product is clean, and then getting started with this component set design for the Netflix use cases, which is a collection of components in a group that have to be deployed as a unit.
And just for everybody, just to keep in the back of their mind, when we talk about Netflix, it's not only the component sets, but also the scaling. They have about 5,000 microservices, so it's a large environment.
And then real quick, I have one last question. Hey, Sergio. You did that awesome logo for us. Do you think you could do a design for a badge?
Yeah, sure, I can.
We need to be able to have a badge that has a specific look for the Ortelius project that can have different levels in it, like enthusiast, evangelist. We'll come up with different names for the badges that people earn. But if you could come up with a badge design, that would be awesome.
Okay, I will do some draft and I will send you.
Great, thank you. And I think that was it.
Anything else from anybody? Did we miss anybody new? Just one last thing. If you need anything, the best way is to reach out on the Discord channel. If you're stuck with trying to figure out how to do your first pull request, don't even know where to get started, any of that, just post it out on the Discord channel and we'll get you taken care of and up and going.
And everybody should have gotten an email. If you're new, you should have gotten an email from me that had the Discord invite link in it. All right. Thank you, everybody. We took 15 more minutes than we deserve.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good week.
Cheers,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.